It is week number 5 of the high school football season. It's game time on Your View, and it's a Class B showdown where there's no off nights in this very deep and difficult class. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Gretna Stadium on a beautiful night for football. We have a top 10 showdown. Number 4, Bennington against number 6, Gretna. I'm Gary Sharp. Glad to have you along on what we expect to be another thriller in Class B. And if you look at Bennington, they have been a top Class B for the last few years. 3 titles in the last 4 years. Well, they take on Gretna. Well, Bennington is 3-1, and they've won 3 in a row. Gretna is 2-2. They're 2 losses to the 2 top teams in Class B. We expect a lot of passing tonight, so that means if you're looking at the Bennington Badgers, they'll have to do it on defense, and we'll feature and we'll mention him a lot. The top tackler in Class B with already 51 tackles through 4 games, linebacker Jacob Sanger. Sanger, who has great pursuit moving sideline to sideline, is going to be tested tonight. This is a Bennington defense. After losing their opener by 2 to Waverly, they've won, as I mentioned, 3 in a row. And during the stretch, their last 2 games, they've only given up 7 points and only 55 on the season. Why will Jacob Sanger be busy tonight? Well, Gretna quarterback Michael Knutson. It doesn't matter what class, A or B, which we are in tonight, Michael Knutson is one of the top passers in all of the state of Nebraska. The future Northwest Missouri State Bearcat currently leads Class B in passing. Last week against number 1 Elkhorn North, he threw for nearly 400 yards. Pitch and catch. We'll tell you about his talented wide receiver tonight as well. Should be a great showdown in Class B. It's a top 10 showdown. Bennington, Gretna. Kickoff is next. Game time on Your View.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
Game time on Your View is brought to you by the University of Nebraska at Omaha. At UNO, you're not just on campus, you're in a city full of opportunity. Visit unomaha.edu to explore. And Golf USA, as golf as it gets. And by Woodhouse, a partner in your everyday since 1975. Well, it might be fall, but it is feeling like summer. Kickoff temperature tonight will be in the mid-80s for the showdown of the Eastern Midlands Conference. Now 76, close to 80. Winds out of the south at 8 miles an hour. What it is on week number 5 on the last Friday of September, it is ideal weather. But these 2 teams are out of the Eastern Midlands Conference. So you could say it's an EMC clash. How good is this conference? The top 6 teams in terms of rankings in Class B all are in this conference. Bennington won the toss, and they have deferred to the second half, so they will kick off as we settle in for a top 10 showdown. Number 4 Bennington against number 6 Gretna. Bennington 3-1, Gretna is 2-2. Trent Dirks will kick off. The Badgers, who have been a top Class B up until last year when they lost in the state final to Omaha Scott. They've won 3 of the last 4 titles. Back deep for Gretna, Bryce Lakers, who is the talented receiver that Michael Knutson will hook up with a lot tonight. Dirks approaches the ball, and we are underway in week number 5. And this kick will be returned, taken at the 13-yard line, and a big return for Gretna. All the way out to the 30, now trying to find some space is Nathan Thielen, the freshman, and he is brought down at the 31-yard line. So that is where the Gretna offense will start. We focused on Michael Knutson in the open, and why not? The senior quarterback this year, 55 of 80, 678 yards passing, 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Last week in the 10-point loss to number 1 Elkhorn North, Knutson threw for 383, and the ball will be in the air plenty tonight. He threw 49 times last week. So this very wide open offense, one of the best passing offenses around. They'll start on the ground on cue, and the pickup is for 8 as plowing his way out to the 39-yard line. Sophomore running back Aiden Firstino. Let's take a look at the starting lineups. They are brought to you by Golf USA, as golf as it gets. As Gretna picks up 7 yards on the opening snap. We'll get you those lineups here in just a moment. As Knutson overlooks the offense. Firstino with another carry, and this is enough for a first down as he runs right over the heart of the lineup, or the heart of the line of scrimmage, and out to the 43-yard line. So here are the starting lineups. That defense for Gretna, Bennington, a defense that's only given up 55 points. They've only given up 7 in the last 2, which include a win against Hastings and Grand Island Northwest. Jacob Sanger, 51 tackles on the year, and also keep an eye on Cole Miller. So the first down, the first of the night for Gretna, and back-to-back runs. This one is going to be stopped short of the line of scrimmage, as coming in to make the tackle is Ty Thompson. And it'll bring up second down and maybe a loss of 1. Bennington lost their opening game to Waverly. What a showdown that was to kick off the season. Waverly is number 3 in Class B. And that was a final of 21-19. But since then, wins against Gretna East, as I mentioned, Hastings and Grand Island Northwest. Knutson steps up in the pocket. Looking, now he's under pressure, and he is going to go down. He was able to get a couple of yards. Thomason comes in to make the tackle. Also, Saul Hames, senior defensive lineman, and that's going to bring up a third down and long as we get a look at the protection that breaks down. Knutson is not afraid to run it. It is not his forte. It's only the 12th time that he has carried the football this year. Now with an empty backfield on 3rd down and 7 for the Gretna Dragons, who are 2-2 on the year. And prior to the snap, we have a flag, and our first flag of the night, and our first introduction to our referee, Adam Duker. And a false start will cost Gretna 5 yards. You're going to look at the Gretna coaching staff. Gretna now in their 2nd year in Class B. They moved down from Class A. Joe Dalton briefly there, the head coach of the Dragons. So it makes it 3rd down and 12 after the 5-yard penalty. Here comes Bennington on the blitz. It's picked up. Knutson's got time. Fires it down the field, and it is caught for a first down. Drew Bolts, who did not play last week in the 10-point loss to Elkhorn North, snares the sling by Knutson on 3rd down, and he's got a first down into Bennington territory on his 11th catch of the year. And this one goes all the way down to the 41. And look at that. Knutson stood in the pocket. He's got a big boy arm at 6'3", 205. That is why Northwest Missouri State is loving what they're going to get next week. Or next year, I should say. And they move the sticks, and it's a first down for the Dragons. Play action, pitch and catch. It is complete for minimal gain. And here is, if you've seen Bolts, we've seen the running back Firstino and Knutson. Bryce Laker is the favorite target of Knutson. We'll talk about their special relationship as we go along tonight. And that is a stout offensive line. Gretna usually has a big offensive line. Both of these programs have really good strength and conditioning programs. That 5-yard pickup on first down. We'll see if Knutson throws it again. Instead, a little delayed handoff to Firstino, and he's got a little bit of a seam, and he splits the defense, and he lands at the 29, and that is a first down. And after converting the 3rd down, the Dragons have moved it down the field, and another first down. As you see, good blocking up front. A good read by the sophomore, 1st, who's got 54 carries on the year for 210 yards prior to tonight, and he's able to gain the first down. Again, this offense, which last week Elkhorn North head coach Sam Stanley called it a great passing offense, the dynamic passing offense. Man in motion. That's Hildebrand, and they'll run it to the left side for the first time tonight with 1st, and good downfield blocking, and he's got another solid first down or pickup. This one will go for another 5. As they ran Hildebrand in motion, and then he was the lead blocker, and 1st, right behind him as you get a look. Hildebrand is number 18 in your picture. He holds the defensive back momentarily. He was holding on to Ewing, and that allowed 1st, to get a couple of more yards, and that brings up 2nd down and 6. Gretna on the year, they've scored 135 points in their 4 games. 2 losses to Norris and Elkhorn North, 2 wins against Elkhorn and Blair. We'll have another Gretna penalty. Adam Duker signals another false start. So back-to-back penalties to begin the game will be to the dismay of that gentleman, Joe Dalton. The head coach, he was an assistant under Mike Kale, the successful Gretna coach who retired a couple of years ago. Now Joe in his 2nd year. Last year, Gretna battled some injuries. They were a very young team. They went 5-5. Knutson to throw. Little tunnel screen is caught. Change of direction by Sullivan, and he breaks it down the sideline. And he's knocked out of bounds in the red zone. All the way down to the 17-yard line. That's a pickup of 13. This offense will stress you with some very good pass catchers. They brought back 4 receivers that had over 28 catches last year, Sullivan being one of them. And he was able to break a tackle, broke another one, stiff arm, and got the first down. And the drive continues for the Dragons. Gretna, in their 2 losses, they've had slow starts. 1st, a minimal pickup here as he is brought down. Cole Miller, who has 40 tackles on the year, the senior linebacker, was the first to hit for 1st. But slow starts by Gretna. They had a slow start against Norris and a slow start last week. That was a 4-quarter game against number 1 Elkhorn North. So it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Dragons. Gretna number 6 in Class B that has Elkhorn North, Norris, Waverly, and these Bennington Badgers and Gretna East ahead of them. 1st, running left, stretch play. Can he get to the outside? No. Great open field tackle on the pursuit, Cole Miller. Miller comes from behind and makes the ankle tackle to bring down 1st, and that's going to set up 3rd down and long. The lone returner for Bennington on defense, Cole Miller, last year had 89 tackles. Usually Bennington, and they're a little bit of a reset. I don't know if you say that about Bennington, but kind of they are. They only return 4 starters. Now they've won 3 in a row after dropping a 2-point loss to Waverly on opening night. 3rd down and 10. Knutson will put it up downfield, and it's deflected. He had his wide receiver, but in between Knutson and his wide receiver was Dalton Pruis. And Pruis was able to deflect the pass, incomplete, and it'll now be 4th down. He had the wide receiver open, but the defensive back in front was able to bat it away, and that sets up a 4th down. It'll be a field goal attempt. Max Brewer, sophomore place kicker, who has not converted a field goal. This one will be from 35 yards on a very impressive drive by Gretna. Does it end in points? Snap, hold, kick is up, and the kick is no good. Just wide right. So the drive for Gretna ends with a missed field goal, and we're going to look at the Badger offense when you return on Game Time.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Missed 35-yard field goal by Gretna. They had a key miss last week. So Bennington will be on offense first, and they will start from the 20-yard line. We get a look at their really impressive junior quarterback. Bufakeo throws it. A low pass is caught out in the flat on the numbers for a couple of yards into the hands of Jake Russell, his top wide receiver. And there is the quarterback, Ty Bufakeo. 5'11", 200-pound junior, 45 of 80 on the year, 634 yards. They go with some up-tempo, and they run out of a spread set. And this is going to set up 3rd down and short. As we get a look at the Bennington starting lineup, brought to you by Golf USA, as golf as it gets. Will Goots is a returning running back who's gotten off to a great start and ran there on 2nd down. Now it is 3rd down and 7. The toss play. Goots running right, spins across the 30, and he's got a 1st down. This will be fun tonight if you're joining us, and we're glad that you are. So we get a look at the defense. It will not be enjoyable for the defense, really on either side, because both of these offensive coordinators go deep into their bag. Bennington going with tempo on their opening drive. Bufakeo steps up in the pocket. He can run, and he does before he is locked up. As he neared the 35-yard line, he is brought down on the play by Alex Gibbons. Gibbons, a junior linebacker. Bufakeo, boy, what a great start he has had to the year. In his opening game against Waverly, threw for 310 into the backfield, going down, making the TFL, Macklin Wilcox, who is only a freshman, 6'1", 245. And he read this play perfectly. Knocks Naughton the ball in his belly, and the freshman was there to haul him down. And now it is 3rd down and 13. Bufakeo stops, fires it deep down the field for the wide receiver, and it is caught. Russell, touchdown. 71 yards. Jake Russell, who did not play last week due to an injury. He had a step on the DB, and look at this throw by Bufakeo. He launches it. And Russell was ahead of Lakers by a step, caught it at the 29, and waltzed into the end zone. A 71-yard touchdown pass. That's the 11th touchdown pass of the year for Bufakeo. For Russell, it's 7 that he's been on the receiving end of. And the PAT is up. And it is good by DeLuz. And it is 7-0 on a 71-yard touchdown pass.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock, and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
The Badgers of Bennington strike first on 3rd and long. Bufakeo to Russell, 71 yards on your scorecard. And it's 7-0 Bennington, a program that is 53-3 in their last 56 games. Their lone loss was the first one of the year, but since then they have hit their stride. Coming into tonight, winning 3 in a row. And up 7-0 on Gretna. On the heels of a missed field goal, Bennington puts it in the end zone as Dirks will kick off. Short kickoff. This will be returned from inside of the 10. Blocking out in front, and a long return out to midfield. And knocked down at the Bennington 49-yard line. Nathan Thielen with the return, read his blocks, had a seam in the middle of the field, and great starting position for Gretna. But there is a flag. And during the return, it is holding. So they will move the ball back. Fortunate mistake for Gretna. They would have had it on Bennington's side of the 50, but they will move this one, a spot foul, all the way back to the 27-yard line. This will be the second time that we get to see Michael Knutson. Gretna drove down the field. A little bit of running, more of the arm of Knutson, but they missed a 35-yard field goal. 3 plays later, Bennington was in the end zone. Knutson turns, hands it off on first down. Firstino has had a nice start to the night, and that's a quick pickup of nearly 10 yards. He'll pick up 9. Aiden Firstino, only a sophomore. Good young roster for Gretna. You see the blocking up front. Whether it be Mike Cale or Joe Dalton, Gretna's on a run of really good blocking offensive lines. As Knutson checks the play. On 2nd and 1, they will carry it again, and it's going to set up a 3rd and long as once again Cole Miller comes in from his linebacker spot and records his 2nd tackle for loss tonight. He blew up the blocker, shed it, and was able to bring down the ball carrier. And Miller on a lot of preseason watch lists for 2026. I was talking to Cam Lenhart, the head coach of Bennington, before the game. It doesn't matter, and there's Cam there in your picture. His 6th year as the head coach, 3 state titles. Last year a runner-up, losing to Scott in a great Class B final. Play action by Knutson, and the pass is knocked down at the line of scrimmage. So that's going to force a punt. But we were discussing, it doesn't matter what year it is. Bennington has a blueprint. Their linemen look a certain way. Their linebackers look a certain way. They play a certain way. They have one of the largest, if not the largest, roster in Class B. It starts when they're young, and they move through the pipeline. Thus, Bennington 53-3 in their last 56 games. That's going back to 2021. So they force a 3-and-out. The Badgers up 7-0 on a 71-yard touchdown pass from Bufakeo to Russell. Trying to play the game of field position. That holding call on the long kickoff return by Thielen really hurt. And this punt is taken at the 40. And it'll be good field position for Bennington. They will start in plus territory as the return by Miles Gifford returns kicks and punts. Out comes Bufakeo. Last year, and Bennington last year went 11-2. Their 2 losses to Omaha Scott. So the loss to begin the year against Waverly, that was the first time that Bennington had lost to somebody not named Omaha Scott since they lost to Plattsmouth in the quarterfinals in the COVID year of 2020. But last year, Bufakeo was a backup. Now he's got the full-time gig, and he's off to a great start. Tried to draw Gretna offside, runs the option, keeps it himself, and gets to the 45. The ball came loose, but he may have been down after he picked up maybe a yard. Last year, and Bufakeo, as you have seen him with his arms and his legs, is a dual threat. A junior, last year ran for 194, threw for 162. Coming into tonight, he has run it 58 times already in the first 4 games. And this carry will result in maybe a yard or two. As in on the tackle is Carter Cerny. Now it'll be third down and about 8. 7-0 in favor of Bennington. Quickly paced first quarter. Knock on wood for everybody in the truck and everybody on the crew and you all at home. I know I violated it. Gretna jumps offside. A hard count by Bufakeo. And Gretna jumps into the neutral zone. And that's going to be another penalty here in the first quarter on the Dragons. It'll cost them 5. So it'll make it third down and 2. And there's Joe Dalton. He was at Waverly and then came to Gretna. Now is the head coach. Defensive background. Bufakeo hands it off. 3rd and 2. And Gretna is going to stop. Goots tried to run over the left side of the line of scrimmage. And not so fast on the tackle. Kason Slofeld, the talented sophomore, makes the tackle. They go for it on 4th down. Bufakeo runs straight ahead. Did he get it? It depends on where they mark the spot. Gretna says no. We put eyeballs on the 2 officials coming in for the sidelines. And it is a hold. Not a flag, but a hold on 4th down. And look at the interior of the Gretna defensive line. They collapsed. They were able to stop Bufakeo. I was just going to tell you, on the previous tackle, and he was back in that one, Slofeld, who has a shoulder injury. He missed the second half of the Blair game, an ACL joint. Made the tackle and he got some help there on 4th down and a huge stop for Gretna, down 7-0. They stopped the Badgers and Knutson is right back out in the last minute of the first quarter. First to know, running left, tried to get to the outside and could not. The pursuit on the outside and the ceiling by the Badgers is on point tonight. Coming in to make the tackle, Ty Thomason, also Owen Vernon. Combined on the tackle. It'll be 2nd down and long for the Gretna Dragons. Class B matchup tonight. Boy, you don't get any breaks in Class B. Such a deep class. That's why we look to the postseason. We think, man, your trip to Memorial Stadium, you will earn it in Class B. And Knutson is just going to let the play clock run out here in the first quarter. And we are through 1 in a top 10 showdown. Number 4, Bennington. The result of a 71-yard touchdown pass. Bufakeo to Russell. That's the lone score of the first 12. We're back for the next 12 after this on Your View.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Hi, everyone. If you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, we have legal professionals standing by to let you know how much your case is potentially worth. I'm here with TV personality and spokesman Tom Mustin. So, Tom, tell the viewers at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault, give us a call right now. You'll speak with a live person and find out how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. You heard it. Take advantage of this opportunity. Call now.
Well, it's not Tuesday, it's Friday, but Any day is a good day for tacos. The Gretna student section, one of the most active student sections we see all season long, tossing tacos into the stands as we begin the second quarter. First to know on a second down run out near the 45-yard line. Now it'll be third down. Gretna began the game with the ball. They drove all the way down the field, but they missed a 35-yard field goal. A couple of plays later, Bennington put it in the end zone on a 71-yard touchdown pass. Third down and 5. Knutson surveys the situation. Headed to Northwest Missouri State next year. Drops back, plenty of time. Now it breaks down, and he goes down. First to get him, Dalton Pruce, and then some help from DeMarcus Perkins. And Knutson sacked on third down. When the pocket broke down, it broke down quickly. That's a loss all the way back to the 32-yard line. During this stretch, well, over the last 2 games, and that includes a shutout against Hastings. They've only given up 7 points, Bennington has. And a bad snap and a save and a good punt. Considering the situation, that could have been really dire for Gretna. But it is saved, and at least a punt that will put Bennington at the 39-yard line. Zeke Yassa, good athletic play to snare the high toss on the snap. There's Michael Knutson. Took a big hit on that sack. Boy, what a year last year Knutson had. Threw for over 3,000 yards. And he comes back this year. He hasn't missed a beat. Bufakeo down the far boundary, and he sails it over the head of the intended wide receiver. He was looking for Lane Molesic, and the pass is incomplete. Mentioned Bennington 3-1. They've won their last 3. Offensive runs for 217 a game. They throw for 160. And a read by Bufakeo. And he's off to the races into Gretna territory. And the junior quarterback finally is hauled down at the 37-yard line. That's a pickup of 24 for the junior who was surveying the situation, stopping, starting, going left, going right. He's going to look at the replay. Was going to run the option and then cut it back, and some over pursuing by Gretna. And then Bufakeo was into the open. They go up tempo. And they keep it on the ground for just a couple of yards. Naughton on the carry. We have only seen 1 carry out of Will Goots. 378 yards coming in, and Bennington now goes with some tempo after the Bufakeo first down. He'll throw it out on the backfield, and he's going to go down. He stepped up into the pocket, and right there to meet him, Alex Gibbons, also Clay Gaithy. They collapse on Bufakeo, and they sack him. That'll bring up third down and 14. Here in the second quarter, Class B showdown. Bufakeo to throw. Plenty of time. Bouncing, launching it deep down the field, and it is broken up. He had for a moment Russell, who he hit on the 71-yard touchdown pass. It got broken up, but there was a flag back near the line of scrimmage. Adam Duker, our referee. Everybody's waiting with bated breath to see what he will signal. It is holding, and it is declined. So once again, the Gretna defense holds on third down. This time, though, Bennington will punt it. As you get a look, Bufakeo for a moment had Russell open. Boy, look at that arm strength. That was off the back foot. But Bufakeo had it knocked away. And now Sliva. Here's the first punt of the night for the Badgers. And this punt will roll inside of the 5-yard line. It'll be down at the 3-yard line. Max Swoboda, sophomore punter, pins the Dragons deep. We showed you after that last Gretna series on the sidelines, Knutson, after he got sacked, was flexing and rubbing his shoulder. He was throwing on the sidelines during that defensive stand by the Dragons. So he's good and he's out to begin this series. 7-0 in favor of Bennington. We expected a high-scoring game. What we have gotten is a little bit of a defensive slugfest. Gretna missed a 35-yard field goal. Bennington responded with a 71-yard touchdown pass from the end zone. Handoff first to know, not much he can do. Maybe a yard. And it'll be 2nd down and 9 for the Dragons. Last year, 5-5, qualified for the playoffs. Their 2nd year back in Class B. What a run they had in Class A. Zane Flores, who's the starting quarterback currently at Oklahoma State, record-setting quarterback, 9,163 yards, 82 touchdown passes, the player of the year in 2022 when Gretna won the state championship. First to know, in minimal yardage, that's a big defensive line for Bennington. Up at the point of contact now coming off the field after making a stop. Saul Haynes. That'll be 3rd down and 8. And then the following year, Gretna went back to the state final. They played Westside. 2 great games in 22 and 23 when Gretna was in Class A. So 3rd down and 8. Knutson with his heels on the goal line. Play action. Time. Flips it down the field, and it's off the hands of Lakers, and it's intercepted. The toss was a little bit high. Lakers went up. It went off his fingertips, and Isaac George comes down with the interception. There is a flag down. Lakers climb the ladder at 6'1", 180. And George right behind him benefited from the ball skipping off his fingers, the interception, and a personal foul after the interception. So Gretna will not retain possession. Personal foul on Bennington. And they will, as you see them march it off, they will start at their own 41-yard line after the interception. The first turnover of the night. And this Gretna defense that, after giving up the 71-yard touchdown pass, they have stood up to this dynamic Badger offense. And a little quick change defense. See what they do against Bufakeo on 1st down. And the handoff, not much. Will Goots on the carry. And Wilcox, the freshman, led the charge. Also in there is Alex Gibbons. We mentioned his name plenty already tonight. In tempo, Bufakeo throws it out to the slot. Little pitch and catch, and a good open field tackle. Yasa with the tackle after the catch by Kloster. Check that. Saliva. Brecken Sliva, junior defensive back, with the tackle. So on 3rd down and 6, can Gretna get another stop after the interception? Bufakeo to throw. Steps up into the pocket. He's got room to run if he wants to. And he's off on the chase. Slofeld chasing after him. Bufakeo will step out of bounds at the 19-yard line. He needed 6, and he got 18. And look at the awareness by the junior. He stepped up, realized that there was a ton of green space in front of him. Slofeld, the sophomore, couldn't cut the edge. And now the option. And a big stop in the backfield. DeHarsh, the junior defensive back, makes his 15th tackle of the year. And they read that perfectly. That's a play that Bennington has gone back to quite a bit here in the first half. The pitch to Naughton. And it's a loss of 1. Coming up at halftime, we'll chat with Bill Pickett from UNO. Also later tonight, the mayor of Gretna. Another toss to Naughton. Maybe got the yard back. Now it's going to be 3rd down and long. Bennington has only attempted 1 field goal this year. Yassa came up, went low on the tackle. Now we'll see what Cam Lenhart and his offensive staff dial up for their quarterback, Bufakeo. Halfway through the second quarter, 7-0. Bufakeo only a junior. Boy, the Class B quarterback talent is deep. Bufakeo to throw. Look at the end zone. Touchdown. The route tree. Wide receivers going everywhere, and Noah Nichols is on the receiving end of the touchdown pass. 20 yards, the second touchdown pass of the night for Bufakeo. Right down the middle, and Nichols broke free from the defender. And Bufakeo, his patience in the pocket allowed him to see his wide receiver come free, and he puts it into the breadbasket on a 6-play, 41-yard drive after the interception. And Bennington is an extra point away from going up 2 scores. There will be a penalty. Gretna jumped offside before the snap on the PAT. Bufakeo now with the 12 touchdown passes on this season, and we're only in week 5. DeLuz with a big, strong right foot splits the pipes, and it's 14-0 Bennington on another touchdown pass. Bufakeo 2 for 2 tonight on Game Time.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books. Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
On a beautiful night for football and a packed student section, the Green Army, as they call the student section here at Gretna. We'll learn more about them coming up at halftime. Also, as I was about to say before Bufakeo threw his second touchdown pass of the night, we're going to talk to the mayor. Mike Evans is going to join us here in the booth in the third quarter. Bennington up by 2 scores, trying to win their 4th in a row. Number 4 Bennington, number 6 Gretna. As Trent Dirks will kick off. And a short kickoff. It'll be returned from the 10-yard line and a fake reverse. And Thielen across the 20. And he is upended. A wrestling move from a school that's got a great wrestling program. And down goes Thielen, courtesy of Cruz Nichols. Now Gretna down 2 scores. Knutson on 3rd down was pressured deep in his own end through an interception, and Bennington turned it into points. First to know with the carry, and he's got a big hole over the left side. It closed up pretty quick, but that's a good first down carry. When Gretna's had some momentum tonight, they've picked up nice numbers on first down, and you see here, good blocking. The offensive tackle, Chase Lindquist, was able to seal the end and open up a spot for 1st and 0, and he got 5 on 1st down. I'll go right back to him. The sophomore cuts it back up, and he's got a 1st down. Boy, good job, good vision. He was running left. I think he wanted to bounce it outside, but once the middle of the line of scrimmage opened up, you get a good look here. He was able to cut it back, and that's a 1st down all the way out to the 40-yard line. Great shots tonight by our crew. The best in the business working tonight here at Gretna on a beautiful night for football. Knutson under pressure. They throw the screen pass. 1st and 0, could not hold on to it. Boy, there was all kinds of traffic around him. Cole Miller was in there trying to wreck things again. Also Baylor Ewing. There were blockers in front, but Knutson maybe held onto the ball a little bit too long on the screen pass. And then he had to arch it up and over the pursuing defensive line. Hames threw his big paw in the air, and so Knutson, his trajectory got thrown off a little bit. But it's incomplete. Now it's 2nd down and 10, and Knutson will throw it again. And he finds 1st and 0, and 1st and 0's got 5. Brought down on the play by Baylor Ewing, junior defensive back, over 20 tackles already this year. Gretna 2-2. They're 2 losses to number 1 and number 2 in Class B. Last week lost by 10 to Elkhorn North. Week 2 lost to the much improved Norris Titans. Lost by 17. So Knutson on 3rd down. Play action. Fires it downfield. And it's incomplete. Threw it a little bit behind the intended wide receiver, Joe Sullivan. Now on 4th down, 3:58 to go in the 1st half. A decision to be made by Gretna, and they will look like they will go for it. Now, keep in mind, Knutson has punted a couple of times via the pooch. So that is the option here. It's 4th down and 5 for the Dragons. And Knutson will drop back, and he will punt the football away. Nobody is back for Bennington. The ball bounces and rolls inside of the 20, and Lakers will be there to down it at the 13. So Gretna just want to get a look from Bennington, and for the 3rd time this year, Knutson pooches it. But we talked all night about the depth of Class B. Get Michael Knutson, now the Bennington offensive staff that has gotten 2 touchdown passes from their junior quarterback, Ty Bufakeo. But it's not just eastern Nebraska that is tough in B. You got McCook and Scottsbluff. Seward is having another good year. But the top 6 teams are all out of the same conference, the Eastern Midlands Conference, the EMC for short. Bufakeo trying to pick his spot as he weaves through a host of Dragons. It'll be 2nd down. Ty Bufakeo will have a spelling bee later. Nice statistician tonight here in the booth, John Cotter, if he knows how to spell Bufakeo. If you were playing Scrabble with Bufakeo and you were playing name Scrabble, you would have a walk-off. Bufakeo looked to his 3rd read, throws it down the near sideline, and it is incomplete. Boy, he looked left, looked to the middle of the field, then looked right, where his top wide receiver, Jake Russell, who earlier in the game caught a 71-yard touchdown pass, he was open, but Russell was out of bounds. Again, a great arm strength by Bufakeo. Only a junior in his 1st year as the starter for the Bennington Badgers. Now 3rd down and 7. The Bennington defense trying to hold on 3rd down. Bufakeo last time on 3rd down fired a 20-yard strike into the end zone for a touchdown. Changes the play. Play clock at 9. He's got plenty of time. Now Goots out of the backfield. Bufakeo looks that way. Slings it in the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Kind of underthrew Nichols. And again, Bufakeo maybe threw it from his back foot. Slofeld was in his face, but still kind of a 3/4 delivery. Threw it that far down the field, but just short of his wide receiver. And Gretna holds, and Gretna should get good field position here in the last 3 minutes of the first half. You see that incomplete pass? Again, coming up at halftime, we'll be joined by Bill Pickett, the Director of Spirit, Tradition, and Signature Events at the University of Nebraska, Omaha. So glad to have UNO as a partner this year in a really good punt. And it will roll. Sabota with the punt, and it'll be down at the 32-yard line. Gretna down 2 scores, back on offense. Can they have some complimentary football for what their defense has done? We'll find out when you return.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
That is the Bennington student section. Oh, they've had a lot to glow about. Their football program that last year had their 46-game winning streak snapped. They've won 3 titles in the last 4 years. They've been to 4 straight Class B finals. And now Gretna looking for points. They start on the ground with 1st and 0 and a good carry. They've been good at getting about 5 yards on first down. It's 2nd down where they run into a wall a little bit as the sophomore running back, Aiden 1st and 0. He's been busy here in the first half. Carries again, clock running under 3 minutes to go. 14-0 in favor of the number 4 Bennington Badgers, number 6 Gretna. 1st and 0, great patience, breaks a tackle. Boy, he almost broke another one as he is down out of the 47-yard line. That is a pickup of 10. Perkins was able to make the open field tackle after 1st and 0 had broken a couple. Knutson, will he throw on first down? He's got 3 wide receivers at the top of your screen. Haven't seen much of Lakers. Knutson looks that way out of the backfield, fires it to 1st and 0, and boy, he took a big hit along the near sidelines by Miller, who's been active tonight. Maybe a pickup of a yard. Cole Miller, last year 89 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 3 interceptions. The lone returning starter on defense. Coming in tonight, he already has 40 tackles in 4 games, and he's been busy from the linebacker spot. They run a 4-2 on their front. Knutson play action. Now he's got room to run. Scrambling across midfield, and he'll step out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. So that will pose a 3rd down and 4 with 1:38 to go in the first half as we get in a look here. Knutson, with clock in his head, he felt the pocket starting to collapse and then danced his way downfield. We think this is 4-down territory for the Dragons. Their best scoring opportunity of the night was on the opening drive, and they missed a 35-yard field goal. Bennington will get the ball to begin the second half. The pass to the flat, broken up. Caught, but broken up. That's a long throw from the left hash mark to the right flat. Sullivan waiting for it, but waiting right there for him, Brayden DeLuz, the junior defensive back, open field tackle. And now it is 4th down. Again, in this situation last time, Knutson pooched it. Bennington has 2 timeouts remaining. And Knutson here is going to let the clock run down. And he'll step back in a quick right-footed pooch punt. Nobody's back for Bennington. And this will roll and come to a stop at the 8-yard line. So with the arm of Bufakeo, who's thrown 2 touchdown passes tonight, and mentioned they had 2 timeouts. Bennington actually has all 3 timeouts remaining. Now 45 seconds to go in the first half. Look at Gretna Stadium, beautiful facility right here on the campus of Gretna High. Gretna East is the newer school. Both programs ranked in the top 10. Gretna High, boys and girls athletics, fall, winter, spring, they are stellar. They're the defending Class A softball champions. Bill Hurd, softball coach, also the boys basketball coach. Last year, Alexis Jensen, who's now in Nebraska, was the player of the year. Bennington keeps it on the ground, and they run it with Naughton. The clock continues to run. But softball, which is currently in the top 5, is the only Class A program. Everybody else in B, but softball here at Gretna is in A. This stadium, used by both Gretna High and Gretna East, this growing community. We'll find out more about the growth of Gretna. Look, just a fabulous facility. The facilities here at Gretna High are fantastic, and a big thanks to Matt Curtis, the athletic director at Gretna High, for his hospitality for our game time crew. So 3rd down and 3. Bufakeo runs the option, calls his own number, and he's going to be stopped. And a timeout is taken by Gretna. So to bring up 4th down, they did a good job of stringing out the play. And Slofeld, only a sophomore, again, battling that shoulder injury. You see that right arm, he looks like Rob Gronkowski. Padded up. They read it perfectly, and he stepped into the hole and was able to help bring Bufakeo down. Slofeld, last year as a freshman, he was Gretna's defensive player of the year. Yeah, look at that right shoulder. That is a big old pad. Also a wrestler, only a sophomore. Last year, he had 76 tackles. He squats 450 pounds. He's a little fire hydrant. Just 5'9", 215 pounds. And he's one of those guys, if you look in the way he plays the game of football, he's a tackling machine. Because of the shoulder injury, they're not using him as much on offense, if at all. But if he was just a little bit taller, he'd have a lot of attention. Because if there is a ball carrier, he is going to find it and is able to force a punt. So Gretna will get the ball. Now they have 3 timeouts remaining, but only 13 seconds remaining. Swoboda with the punt. Coming up on it and catching it on the run is Lakers. Lakers to the far side, and he'll step out of bounds smartly. That stops the clock, probably gives Gretna one more play. So the first time tonight that Lakers could, on the run, field a punt. He had the momentum going the other way and steps out of bounds. So now the decision is for Gretna. From here it would be a 37-yard field goal. If you don't get anything, you do have a timeout. Actually, you have 3 in your back pocket. You got Knutson at quarterback. Is this a one play to halftime? Michael Knutson. Last year, threw for 514 yards and 6 scores in a game. That's right, it was his second game as a starter. Lakers in motion. Knutson, but there's a flag. Lakers may have turned up field too soon. It is going to be a penalty on the Dragons, a false start. That'll push him back 5 yards. And they'll put a couple of seconds back on the clock. Again, coming up at halftime. Brought to you by our good friends at the University of Nebraska, Omaha. So great to have UNO as part of our Friday nights with all of you. We'll talk to Bill Pickett from UNO. Also, we'll learn more about Gretna High. Principal Teresa Hutman will join us, and Harley Boyd showed earlier, the enthusiasm by the Green Army student section. Well, we'll learn more about what they are up to. There they are. They are packed from the front row to the back row. The delay, they are fixing the clock here in the stadium. And Joe Dalton is going to take a timeout. So more than likely this is one play to halftime on week 5. Last night, week 5 got started in Class A. Jet Tamala, the Alabama commitment, the quarterback from Millard South, set the 11-man, I should say, touchdown passing record in the state of Nebraska. Now over 8,000 yards in his career passing as Millard South beat Lincoln Southeast 77-0. And while we have a moment here, we do want to mention, and usually when you tune in on Friday nights, I am joined here in the booth by somebody who is much smarter about football than yours truly. We lost a really good one. Somebody who's going to join me here tonight in this community throughout Omaha. It's been a rough day. We all have heavy hearts. It's Matt Verzal, former Grand Island Football Hall of Famer, former Nebraska offensive lineman, part of the national championship teams in the 90s. Passed away yesterday at the age of 51. Knutson, final play, slings it to the end zone and out of the end zone, and halftime is upon us. Halftime coming up. Bennington 14, Gretna nothing. Game time on Your View.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
This is important news for people implanted with a spinal cord stimulator for chronic pain relief that malfunctioned, causing serious complications or even death. The FDA has reported thousands of adverse events. If you've been implanted with a spinal cord stimulator and suffered any of these complications, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you're eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call the law offices of Davis & Crump right now. Our first consultation is free, and we don't get paid unless you get paid. Call now. Operators are standing by.
It is halftime at Gretna Stadium, where Bennington, via 2 touchdown passes by Ty Bufakeo, they lead Gretna 14-0. We are pleased to be joined great partner this year, the University of Nebraska Omaha, and one of the great guys that represents UNO, the Director of Spirit, Tradition, and Signature Events, Mr. Bill Pickett joins us on the sidelines. Good evening, Bill.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
It's hard to believe we're a month into the school year, but, you know, you get asked this a lot because you are active with all of the students in your role. But for people that don't know and they drive by the campus, the great campus at 60th and Dodge or down at Exarban on that campus, just give us an idea of what campus life is like at UNO.
You know, that's a great question. Campus life is pretty legit. There's a lot of fun things going on at UNO. It's kind of a secret, right? You come on campus and you see all the awesome buildings and facilities, and it's very vibrant. We have lots of activities and events for students to really get them acclimated and connected. It's important to get those students on campus and make them feel a part of the Maverick family, and we do a lot of fun things to accomplish that goal.
So with all the different student organizations that you oversee, and you get to travel to a lot of sporting events, how do you get students involved that are on campus to get into these organizations?
Great question. You know, a lot of our students love athletics. That's a big component of getting them kind of riled up and excited to support the teams. Having nice facilities like Baxter Arena and a hockey program and some of our other sports have really brought the students out. The Maverick Maniacs are probably one of our biggest organizations that supports those teams. They cheer at the games and bring all the crazy fun, excitement, and wearing the bibs and getting all the students riled up. And once the students kind of take bite of that, we hook them in, and they love to be a Maverick.
Hockey season starts next week with an exhibition. Basketball season will be right around the corner. Volleyball, men's and women's soccer is going on right now. How do the athletic program, with what you do and with the advantage of the students that with a student ID it's easy to go to games, how does that all work together?
Yeah, you're right. Your MAV card, which is the student ID, gets our students into all the athletic events, which is great. Students don't have an excuse really not to come, right? And we provide that fun atmosphere and really get the students pumped up. Coming to our spirit trips or the activities that we have on campus is just part of a big D1 program, and we make sure our students have that opportunity. And winning championships obviously help. And, you know, getting our basketball team to March Madness last year was huge. Our softball team won last year, the Summit League. So we're excited to kick off some of these seasons this year and see where the Mavs go.
I'm glad you brought up softball. Mike Hurd, the softball coach at Omaha, his brother Bill is the softball coach here at Gretna, and they both won championships this past season. One final thing, Bill, is as I know you and my involvement with Omaha men's basketball, tell us about the journey that you took with the students from Omaha all the way to watch us in the NCAA tournament in Providence, Rhode Island.
You know, that was an epic trip for our students and folks that got to go. We took 50 students on a charter bus, 23 hours one way to support our team in Providence. And those experiences give our students once-in-a-lifetime opportunities and the memories that they create. And our athletes love to have the support on the road. I mean, that was a long trip, but something we would do in a heartbeat again, just because, you know, supporting our team on the road and that once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, why wouldn't we, right? Making March Madness was awesome.
Hey, appreciate, Bill, everything you do, and, of course, the University of Nebraska Omaha. Thank you.
Thank you, and go Mavs.
That's Bill Pickett, the Director of Spirit, Tradition, and Signature Events. When we return, more special guests. We'll talk to the principal here at the great Gretna High, and also student.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
It is halftime at Gretna High, where Bennington leads Gretna 14-0, and we're joined here in the booth by two special guests. The principal here at Gretna, Teresa Hutman, welcome.
Thank you.
And Harley Boyd. All right, let's first talk about the exciting things that are going on in Gretna. It's hard to believe we're already a month into school, but this school continues to grow. There's a lot of excitement. How has the start of the school year been, and what is something you're looking forward to as we make our way through the fall?
We've made a lot of really positive changes this year. We're getting a new track, as you can see. That will open up to a lot of other exciting opportunities, hosting some really important big track competitions. In terms of school, we've had a great time establishing really positive culture. We're really trying to build our Green Army, our student section, and we have a great leader, Trent Steele, who is helping us do that.
So let's talk about the Green Army, and that's where Harley comes in. So there's a lot of exciting things happening with the Green Army. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the students that are involved and what you guys do that are not just supporting the athletic teams here.
So the Green Army is, they have like students from every grade that are like the generals. And what I do is I'm just taking the photos of it. I'm not technically a part of it. But so I've been taking photos and just helping cover what the Green Army has done, and it's helped just bring so much more attention to our sports and our athletics and getting way more people involved. Last night at the volleyball game, there were so many people there. A year ago, that wouldn't have happened. And so it's really awesome just how much, like, it's just all grown for the better.
And we make our way throughout the metro, and not every student section has the support that you do here at Gretna. And I will say a couple of weeks ago, as a tribute to 9/11, what a fantastic job you guys did, not only with the National Guard, but also with the Green Army student section.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. The National Guard had reached out in the summer and asked to do some things to partner. We knew our homecoming game was going to be on 9/11, and we wanted to do something really important and really to memorialize the day, and they helped us do that, and our Green Army showed up really well and really supported our troops and then supported our team.
It's always great for our crew to come out here. Matt Curtis is great with the hospitality, Joe Dalton, the football coach. But your role as the principal of this school, and it's a very vibrant school and a vibrant community. What's the best part of your job as the principal of Gretna High?
Absolutely the best part is the kids. I get to hang out with some really incredible students. Harley Boyd is just one of them. But it's hands down the kids and seeing their excitement this year. We're getting a lot of really positive feedback from our parents and from our community about some of the changes that we've made this year.
So what's next for the Green Army, Harley?
I'm not sure.
As you move into winter and
yeah, I think they'll probably then move into basketball and hopefully get more people to those games, and it'll be awesome.
All right, what are we going to do here in the second half?
Hopefully keep on cheering and maybe make a comeback, hopefully.
Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much for having us out and letting us know more about Gretna High. Anything on the horizon that you're excited about that's great for the students in the community?
On the horizon, we have some really cool things planned for the Green Army. We have some really cool ideas. We're all about entrances, so watch for some cool entrances coming up. We've been brainstorming, and our student leaders have been phenomenal.
That is fabulous. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Teresa Hutman, the principal at Gretna High, and Harley Boyd, member of the Green Army. 14-0 Bennington leads Gretna at the break. More from Gretna after this.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
It's halftime at Gretna as both teams make their way onto the field for the second half. And before we get there, let's show you how the Badgers grabbed a 2-touchdown lead in the first half. Michael Knutson to Joe Sullivan. This is on the opening drive. Gretna with a little bit of variety in their offensive package. This is one of the top passing offenses in the entire state of Nebraska. Pass was incomplete. Bennington got the ball back after a missed field goal, and Bufakeo with a 71-yard touchdown pass to Russell. Majority of that in the air, and that was 3 plays after the missed field goal to put Bennington up by a score of 7-0. Knutson back on the attack and under pressure, and he'll go down. This Bennington defense, which has pitched a shutout in the last 2 games, only given up a touchdown. But the Gretna defense has held their own tonight with a combo sack. And then here's Knutson throwing from the end zone, and this is the first turnover of the night on the deflection off the hands of Lakers. And Bufakeo on 3rd and long finds Nichols from 20 out. That makes it 14-0. That's where we are here at halftime with the Badgers, number 4 in Class B, leading the number 6 Dragons. Rushing yards are even, passing yards are different. Bufakeo is 4 of 6, 2 touchdown passes, 98 yards, and that key 1 turnover. But Gretna has done fairly well on defense. They've given their offense a chance. Bennington will get the football first to begin the second half. And when we begin the second half, the mayor of Gretna shows how big a deal it is tonight. Here, he'll join us in the booth. 14-0. Bennington leads Gretna. Second half kickoffs coming up next on Game Time.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction. That's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
We're back at Gretna Stadium to begin the second half. We are joined by Gretna Mayor Mike Evans. Talk to Mike here throughout the third quarter as Gretna will kick off. Bennington will get the football first. That's the mayor right there.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, Gary.
There's Mike.
This is fantastic.
Yeah.
What a great night.
Oh, a beautiful night for football. Thank you. As the mayor of Gretna, you ordered up the weather for us.
I did, but it doesn't always deliver.
Yeah, that's true. But can you deliver a couple of touchdowns for the Dragons as we get underway?
I think we got one in us for sure.
And this kickoff will go into the end zone. So, while we have a chance here before Bufakeo, the talented junior quarterback, comes out for Bennington, what are we, 5 years now as the mayor of Gretna?
Just about 5 years.
And you have, of all the mayors in the Omaha area, you have one of the best jobs, and I have to say this because I love the community, but a community that you have lived in a long time, that you have seen grow, that it was kind of a, it's out there, it's a little bit rural. Now all of a sudden there is stuff going on everywhere in this city.
It is, and we're not trying to grow, but we wanted just a really high-quality city,
Empty backfield, Bufakeo throws it to Russell in the near flat, and he is immediately brought down, and that play on the edge was read perfectly by Lakers, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. So what I told you when I came into the booth is you're a football guy.
I love football. Growing up back in the day, Huskers, every kid wanted to play football for Tom Osborne or somebody. So when you go to school, you're getting on the team.
And you've seen this program grow. It's been B, then it went to A and B. They've had great success as the toss play to the outside to Naughton, and Naughton is going to get about 5 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 5. But you also have a background, not only a big football guy, but you have a sports background that either you're on the field, but in a different role in a different sport. Tell us a little bit about your officiating background.
All right, well, a little bit. So I was in Albion, so I, played I-back in Albion, was an all-conference running back, but I was smaller, and I was real quick, and I was a lot better wrestler. So I went on to wrestle at University of Nebraska. I wasn't a great wrestler there, but I was decent enough. And I fell in love with just all these sports. And I just didn't want to give it up. And I found a way, to keep giving back and being part of it.
So 3rd down and 5. And before the snap, a flag comes out. And this looks like it'll be a penalty. Adam Duker, our referee. Ball start is on Bennington. So that'll push him back 5 yards. And it'll bring up 3rd down and 10. I think you're being very kind when you talk about your officiating background. You're going to look at Cam Lenhart, the 6th-year head coach for Bennington.
Yeah, maybe. So I was a Hall of Fame wrestling official and got to do a lot of matches. And you think mayors are, you had to do a wrestling officiating match at CHI when things aren't going well. So
Bufakeo to throw down the middle of the field as Nichols was trying to break free, and a flag comes out.
Yeah, we were able to do a lot of great football players and games and just places throughout the state. That's what's great about football is the teamwork, but you go across the state and see some really cool experiences.
This may be defensive holding on 3rd and long. Actually going to call the penalty on Bennington. They will call pass interference. It looked more like a hold, but regardless, it is a 1st down via the penalty for Bennington on 3rd down and long, and move it all the way out to the 35-yard line. So for people that don't know, because you just referenced the downtown arena, the state championships are held there as Naughton carries it for a minimal gain. But what's that experience like?
Football, I love football. It's a great sport, but you have 5 guys. When things go wrong, you got to get in the huddle and you talk through it. If you're on a wrestling match, you're making the call, and you have to know what you're doing. You have to have good control, and it can be kind of hair-raising sometimes.
And this pass is incomplete. Mayor Mike Evans, the mayor of Gretna, joining us here in the booth in the third quarter, where Bennington beginning the second half. So you've lived in this community for a long time. You got 3 children, your wife Jenny. You are part of the Gretna community. What made you decide that you wanted to run for mayor here?
Well, the reason my wife, she's from Minden, I'm from Albion. You move to a small town to be part of it. You don't go there just to live. I wanted to be part of our community, right?
Bufakeo to throw, chased out of the pocket, slings it out in the near flat to Naughton. Naughton escapes one tackler. He's going to have a first down.
So then, I coach sports, help the schools, you're at church, helping things. Then you just really care about the community and the people that live there, and you feel like you know the values. And so the next step was when my career stabilized and the children moved on, I thought, I should continue serving.
And so you ran for mayor and have been successful, and currently in that role as Bennington converts for a first down. Bufakeo throws it deep down the field, and it is caught. This will be a touchdown.
Boy, he has a nice arm, doesn't he? Great touch.
Parker Douglas, another deep toss by Bufakeo. His third touchdown pass of the night, and it is 20-0. So we get a look at the replay here, Mayor Mike.
Yeah, he just has a great release. He sees the field well and just drops it right in there.
Broke free of the defensive back, and that's kind of been the story of the 3 touchdown passes thrown by the junior signal caller. His wide receivers have gotten separation, and Bufakeo has found them. And now we are an extra point from Deleuze, away from it being 21-0, and it sneaks over the crossbar. So 7 plays, 80 yards to begin the second half. 2:23 off the clock, and it's 21-0 in favor of Bennington. So let's talk about this city, because anybody that has seen Gretna and the growth, let's first start I-80 to 192nd Street. There's a lot of excitement there, all the growth that is going on. I mean, you could take us, we could hop in a car, your car, and we could drive around the city, but it seems like everywhere you look in Gretna, there is growth that is setting up for the future.
It is, and it's similar to Bennington. It isn't a case where we try to grow and go fast. We have 1 million people between us and the interstate, and we have great schools and quality of life, so everybody's moving here. But we're planning, we're leading, we're not trying to react to development, we're trying to lead the developers to create great spaces and, great quality of life here.
So Gretna now will have to respond. They're down 3 scores. You get a great crowd on hand here tonight at Gretna Stadium. And, you look at the support in the fall, the winter, and the spring now with 2 high schools. I mean, that's kind of what Gretna, the city of Gretna, is.
It is. It's one of the few communities, at least in the metro, where the school district and the town almost are at the same footprint. So this is our school. My son played football here, and he wrestled here, and he was actually 1 year younger than Andy Janovich and 1 year older than Mick Stoltenberg. So there were some pretty tough practices back then.
Those are 2 multi-sport stars here at Gretna that went on to play football at Nebraska's Lakers kickoff return across the 25, and now Gretna down by 3 scores. They'll get the ball for the first time here in the second half. So as you look, and I know in the past we've talked about this, Gretna went from a small population to it continues to grow and grow. What does the future look like in terms of the number of citizens that will be living here 10, 15, 20 years down the road?
Well, they do projections, and even though our city just says like 9,000 people, the school district has 30,000 in it. So we're already bigger than people give us kind of understand, but they think it'll get closer to 50 and 60 in, say, 15, 20 years.
Personnel with a first down carry. A little zinger on the arm, and Slofeld comes in for the first time tonight in the backfield. Again, he's battling an ACL injury in his shoulder, and he carries it right away. And the stout sophomore, well, don't worry about that shoulder. He drops his head, uses the shoulder, and fights his way for a first down. So as you work in this community. It's growing every day. What are some of the other projects that you're excited about that are on the horizon that more people in the Omaha Metro are going to hear about?
Right. Well, I think today was a big announcement, at least the start of one, for the whole metropolitan area, is they, NDOT formally announced that 192nd is going to be where the interchange is on I-80.
Slofeld again upended out at the 45-yard line. Is coming in to make the tackle is Gifford.
So now we're going to start working on bringing that interchange to life, which will relieve a lot of traffic in Western and Douglas Darby. So really need that. Our new community center is just over a year away, so that's going to be a great project for our community. And Nebraska Medicine coming to our town. I mean, just an incredible organization. Nodal Development's going to be there, kind of create a great mixed-use development around there. So
let me ask you, after this play, let me ask you about Nebraska Medicine, because I know you're extremely excited about that project as Knutson will put it up, fires downfield, and it is Aaron from his wide receiver Lakers, who they just haven't been able to get connected on. But that's something you take a lot of pride in and is great for this community. So walk us through that project for Nebraska Medicine that'll be right here in Gretna.
So Nebraska Medicine continues to expand their footprint of serving the state. And them coming here brings kind of jobs that we're driving to Omaha for now. Mm-hmm. They're great jobs. There'll be, I think, 300 to 500 jobs, full service, healthcare facility, and just a fantastic organization. For years, we drove to Omaha for everything.
3rd and 7. Knutson steps up and little pop pass is off the fingertips of Sullivan, so it'll bring down 4th down.
So we used to have to go to Omaha for everything, but now we're getting cool stuff, and people from Omaha are coming here.
Hey, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Mayor. We're big fans of Gretna. This community continues to grow. Every time I come out here, I see something new, and that's a credit to you and everybody else in this community.
Well, thank you for doing what you do. I know it's a tough day, and my thoughts and prayers are with everybody. I really appreciate the Cox people, sponsoring this, because they're great people and great partners in our community, and you're a stud. I love listening to you. You're a fantastic, and you add color to the sport and you make everybody better.
Mayor, thank you very much for the kind words as Knutson's punt rolls into the end zone. We're back with more from Gretna after this 21-0 Bennington.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich, here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Take a look at the Gretna cheer squad. There's the Green Army. Great to catch up with Principal Hutman and halftime as the pass is incomplete. Hope you enjoyed our chat with the mayor of Gretna, Mike Evans. A lot of exciting stuff is going on here in this community that continues to grow day by day. It was good to check in with Principal Hutman and then Harley Boyd, member of that Green Army. Bufakeo launches it deep down the field again, and it is caught. Parker Douglas. And Bufakeo, he can sling it. Yasa is hurt on the play. Here we go again. Just roars back and launches it down the field. And Douglas was able to make the catch over the shoulder. Oh, my. Welcome to Game Time on Your View, Ty Bufakeo. Already with 3 touchdown passes. Yasa being attended to. Appears to be a cramping issue as you get a look there in your picture. Our great crew tonight. Our director, Brad Pace, Brad Zimmerman. We got Chris, we got Dan, Chuck, Justin, Nate, Todd. Kevin is here. Jason is here, Gino, Brian, and Aaron as well. Great crew joining us tonight. And, of course, here in the booth, John Carter, our statistician. I'm Gary Sharp. And Yasa, on a night that it was 76 at kickoff, which is a little bit warm for the Omaha area at the end of September. And we had gone through a little bit of stretch of some cold weather. We have been lucky, knock on wood, because we will have a great showdown next week for you, Central and Prep, that the great weather that we have had continues as Yasa will limp off the field. Get some fluids in him and take a look at him on the sidelines with the cramping issue. 21-0 in favor of Bennington. Bennington, after losing their opener to Waverly by 2, have rattled off 3 wins in a row. Now searching for their 4th. Look at Ty Bufakeo. Bouphakeo. Only a junior. Now first down and 10. Rolls out, stops, looks deep down the field, throws it down the middle of the field for Douglas. He catches it, and he is down at the 1-yard line. Boy, that play looked familiar again. And Bufakeo is dealing here in the second half. The cards are being accepted by Parker Douglas. Oh, my. Remember, against Waverly, who is number 3 in Class B, Bufakeo threw for 310 and 3 scores. Then he threw for 291 against Hastings. Tonight, another big number. And this carry is stopped at the 1-yard line. Nope, now they signal a touchdown. Naughton is in from 1 yard out for the score. And the Bennington Badgers now with a 27-0 lead. And the PAT is not attempted. The snap was low. The holder, the throw by Caleb Tysor, the backup quarterback, is just short as he was looking for Braden Closter. So it remains 27-0. Here's what set up the 1-yard touchdown run by Naughton. Look at the Bufakeo to Parker Douglas. And again, this is all these long passes tonight look very similar. There isn't much separation, maybe a yard and a half, and Bufakeo puts it right in, and here's Naughton scoring the touchdown. Well, there's no replay until you get to the state final. May have had a knee down at the 1, but Naughton with the touchdown. There's Parker Douglas. 4 plays, 80 yards, just a minute 27 off the clock, and Bennington's come out of the locker room, and they have scored on their first 2 possessions. Here's a good look at the junior quarterback, Ty Bufakeo, in a program that has gone 53-3 in their last 56 games. Kind of feels, and Cam Lenhart, with the rarity of only 4 returning starters, I think they get momentum going as the season goes along. Well, this is what momentum looks like. Winners of 3 in a row, now up 27-0, trying to win their 4th in a row against the number 6 team in Class B. Little squib kick. It is scooped up by Lakers, and he'll get back to about the 27-yard line. Stay tuned later in the game. Our smart call of the game and our player of the game. Stats at halftime. The Cox Fast Stats giving football fans all the latest stats courtesy of Cox were not one-sided. Boy, the field has tilted. 2 big scores by Bennington. They're up 27-0, and they're going to force Knutson to throw the football. Snap back to him, steps up. Now he's got to scramble as downfield. All of his wide receivers were corralled, but a good job by Knutson, who is 6'3", 205, and he barrels his way out to the 35-yard line. That is pickup of 9 on first down, and he read the coverage and stepped up into the pocket and found a seam and got 9. Now it is 2nd down and 1. Knutson to throw. Plenty of time. Down the middle of the field for Lakers. Incomplete. It's been a quiet night. Coming into tonight, Knutson with 55 completions for 678. Lakers has got 16 of those receptions for 231. Last year, Lakers had a game in which he had 300 yards receiving. It was in the same game that Knutson threw for 514. And they'll run it on 3rd and 1, and it is a 1st down. 1st and 0 back into the game. And a quick plunge up the middle. And they'll move the sticks as the clock continues to run here in the 3rd quarter of week number 5. Knutson, a 3.8 student in the classroom. Slings it over the head of the intended wide receiver as he was looking for Drew Bolts on the outside. Knutson, so he played basketball as a freshman. And he was going to have that as his number 1 sport and then went back to football. And Joel Dalton is happy he did. That was a 2nd-year starter. Preseason All-Class B at quarterback. Now he's staring at a 2nd down and 10. Team down 27-0. Handoff, 1st and 0. And 1st and 0 is not going anywhere. That is a good, solid tackle. Ty Thomason's had a good night. The 6'4", 205-pound defensive lineman makes another stop, and that'll set up 3rd down. Bennington gets Blair next week. Gretna gets Plattsmouth. Knutson looks to the sidelines, gets the play. Now 3rd down and 9. He throws, and it is complete out at midfield. And sitting down in the zone, nice route by Henry Hildebrand. And Knutson found him, put it right into the pocket. And that is a 1st down. And Gretna converts a 3rd down. Now we'll see if they go with a little bit of tempo, down 27-0. Knutson will play next year at Northwest Missouri State. Now he has to scramble out of the backfield, fires it downfield, and a good catch along the near side, and that's Hildebrand again. Hildebrand, only a junior, the tight end, with back-to-back catches, and Gretna hurries to the line of scrimmage. So Knutson is going to Northwest Missouri State. His wide receiver Bryce Lakers is going to play for Ryan Held at UNK. We'll see if he finds him here. Pressure. Got rid of it. 1st and 0 on the screen. Blocker in front. He reads it. And he's tripped up as he got to about the 22-yard line. Gifford got a piece of 1st and 0, but Knutson, a good job to stay in the pocket, hold himself, and just dump it over the defensive lineman, and that was a blitz by Bennington. So they move the sticks, another 1st down. Gretna's trying to get on the board here in the 3rd quarter. Back-to-back scores by Bennington. Gretna's been kept off the board. And now the crossing route to Lakers. And here's Lakers. Cuts it up. And he's down to the 10-yard line. His best reception of the night. He had 61 of them last year. And that is his 18th reception of the year. On just a drag route across the middle. This tempo and the sense of urgency. Now you're down 4 scores, but it has played more in the comfortability of the quarterback, Michael Knutson, who's got 1st and 0 in the backfield on 1st and 10. Pass caught. That's Bolts, and he is slung down. That'll be 2nd down. Gretna can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown. A couple years ago, we were Friday night featuring Zane Flores, now at Oklahoma State. We'll be playing for a new head coach, Mike Gundy of Oklahoma State, fired earlier this week. 2nd and 7. Play action, rolling right. Knutson under pressure, and he turns his, fires it out of bounds. He did not want to take the sack, and we'll await to see if there is a flag. Side judge is coming in to talk to our referee, Adam Duker. And yep, they'll drop the flag. Intentional grounding called on Knutson. So that is not only the yardage, but the loss of down. You see here, Cole Miller had him wrapped up, and Knutson got spun around like a top and just fired it near the Bennington ball boys. Adam Duker will march off the penalty and snap the ball from the 24-yard line. All of a sudden, just 3rd down and 23 for the Dragons. 2-2 on the year. You don't get an off night playing in Class B. Gretna's lost to Norris and Elkhorn North, 1-2 in the rankings. Pass, Lakers catches it. Boy, he beat his man into double coverage, and Knutson threaded it. And Lakers, who's got great speed, he's a fantastic route runner, and he ran this route to precision, and Knutson snuck it in there, and Lakers had a defender draped on his left shoulder, and he makes the catch. So now it sets up a little bit more manageable 4th down. Again, they can get a first down without a touchdown. But Knutson wants the touchdown, and the blitz will bring him down, and they'll get nothing. Miller and Sanger, the 2 top tacklers. We featured Jacob Sanger at the top of the telecast, and he comes in and he sacks Michael Knutson on 4th down, and Bennington holds the Dragons out of the end zone, and they'll get the ball back. 2:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Knutson really didn't have a chance. Miller got around the defender, but first to hit him was Jacob Sanger. And Sanger, last year, had his season cut short by injury. He has bounced back. The top tackler helps turn it over on downs. That Bennington sideline. 4 straight trips to the Class B final. And they'll keep it on the ground. They got the ball back is Naughton, who just scored on a 1-yard touchdown run. It has been Mr. Bufakeo, quarterback for Bennington. How comfortable does he look in this offense? Only a junior. Now motion out of the backfield, going right, but he throws left and the pass is dropped. Malasic probably okay that he dropped the pass, because he would have been tackled and would have been a loss. So instead it'll be 3rd down and 8. While Gretna is finishing this brutal stretch of scheduling, Bennington just beginning their gauntlet. Bufakeo on 3rd down, pressure, steps up. He can run, instead he fires it downfield, and it is caught by Douglas again. Oh my! Parker Douglas, have yourself a second half. On the run, Bufakeo on the run. Finds him in stride, and they'll move the sticks. On 3rd down and 8, that's a pickup of 26. The legs to the arm to the catch. A great line of quarterbacks that the Badgers have had in this incredible run. In Class B, they found another, and he'll throw on 1st down. Little double clutch, and the pass completed, but then fumbled right along the Gretna sideline. They say it's recovered by Bennington as Tysor makes the catch. Look here. Yasa back in the game after the cramping issue was there and forcing the fumble. Gaethie Recovered by Bennington. That's a pickup of 6. Tyser, who's the backup quarterback, comes out of the game. Inside handoff, and Naughton is thrown down, but he's thrown down right at the first down marker. Gibbons, who's been active from his linebacker spot for the Dragons, made the tackle, but they'll move the sticks. And Bennington, which scored 14 in the first half, 13 here in the second, are driving again. You look down the road for Bennington. They finish with Scott, their arch rival, who beat them twice last year. And then they finish on a Thursday night on the 23rd of October at Elkhorn against number 1 Elkhorn North. Not out of the backfield, Bufakeo throws that way. The pass is complete to Kloster. And really an interesting play design because they motion the running back out of the backfield to set up as a blocker. And then Bufakeo, with good arm strength, makes the longer toss near the boundary. You have a blocker in front. Good job by Gretna to read it. That amounts to only a 2-yard pickup. Here from Gretna Stadium on a Friday night. Beautiful Friday night. We've already reached week 5. You know, there's only 4 weeks left after tonight. Bufakeo calls his own number, and that number has been great. He weaves his way for 23 on a quarterback keeper. On the zone read, he pulled it out. Look at him drop the shoulder. And they are on the edge of the red zone, the 22-yard line. Well, I don't know that we're going to have much of a debate tonight on the Roloff Construction Player of the Game. I believe that he's about to receive the snap. Goots, who has not carried much tonight, leading ball carrier for Bennington, inside of the 20, now into the red zone. As this will bring us to the end of the third quarter. A big quarter for the Badgers. They're headed towards a big win. They'll go to the fourth. Put your fingers in the air, y'all. 27-0. Bennington leads Gretna on Your View.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. We're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
We begin the fourth quarter on a night that Ty Bufakeo, the quarterback for Bennington, has introduced himself to the rest of high school football in Nebraska. 12 of 18, 274 yards passing, 3 scores. He's also had a good night on the ground, and here on 2nd down and 6, he'll be close to a first down. 27-0 as we begin the fourth quarter. Game time on Your View. Glad to have all of you along. Bennington 3-1. They've won 3 in a row since a 2-point loss to begin the season against Waverly. They'll be facing a 3rd down. In Bufakeo last year, backup, got some quality snaps, now a full-time gig as a junior. Out of the backfield, runs the option, pitches it ahead. Naughton caught it. The pitch was a little behind him. Naughton snared it. By the looks of it, it's probably going to be about a yard short. Yes, it is. It'll be 4th down for the Badgers. It's Cam Lenhart, now in his 6th year. He knows where the expectations of Bennington football are, and that is to finish the year at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, playing for a B title. 3 titles and a runner-up last year in the last 4 years. What a game that was last year in Class B. What a game it usually is between Bennington and Scott. They're going for it on 4th down. And trying to draw Gretna offside. Bennington will take a timeout. We'll follow suit. And we'll see what Bennington dials up on 4th down in the red zone. Up 27.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
We are back in Gretna, where it's been all Bennington tonight. So after the timeout, we'll see what the Badgers go with. Tight set. Snap back to Bufakeo, and I think he's going to be held short, and he does look like he'll be held short. And a good job by the Gretna defensive line. They won the battle on the line of scrimmage. Most importantly, the freshman defensive lineman, Macklin Wilcox. They were just checking. There's Wilcox, 70 in a picture. Now, before Gretna takes over, let's take a look at the smart call of the game, brought to you by Cox Charities. Bufakeo, one of his 3 touchdown passes tonight. That was at the beginning of the game, 71 yards into the waiting arms of Russell. That's how the game started, and Bufakeo has been doing it all night. That is our smart call of the game, brought to you by Cox Charities. So Michael Knutson back on the attack. His pass to Hildebrand, his big tight end, sat down in the zone. That's a good pickup on 1st down. That'll be for about 6 yards. Next week, good showdown, Class A. Because now you start looking at the points, playoff positioning. We're in district action. This, though, is not a district game of Omaha Central and Omaha Creighton Prep. First time we get a look at the much improved Junior Jays. The second time we look at the start star-studded Central Eagles as Knutson throws it away as he was chased out of the pocket. That'll come your way next week. Boy, do we have a great showdown in 2 weeks. Yeah, it's going to be October, and the schedule really heats up. 2 weeks from tonight, we will bring to you Omaha West Side and Elkhorn South. That's number 2 in Class A against number 3 in Class A. The current number 1 team, Millard South, who outside of the forfeit, they are unbeaten at 4-0. Knutson, Sept. Thought he had a moment, didn't get rid of it, and Ty Thomason, who's had a monster night, combines with Brody Lichty for the sack. That pocket just collapsed quickly, and Lichty around the edge, and Knutson had nowhere to go and decided against just throwing it away. So now Gretna will have to punt the football. And consider this Gretna offense, which coming into tonight, they scored 135 points in 4 games, and they have yet to get to the shadow of the goal line. Missed a 35-yard field goal in their opening drive as Yassa punts from his own end zone, a short punt, and Bennington's going to take over at the 36-yard line, up by a score of 27-0. And there is a Bennington player down, and fireworks. Vala's Pumpkin Patch, which is right here in Gretna, an extremely popular fall activity where you can go on hayrack rides, and all the other stuff that goes on at Vala's. It's one of the top tourist attractions for locals and visitors here in the Omaha area. So it's not very far from where we're at. And so nightly on Friday nights, I should say not nightly, but on Friday nights they have fireworks. So that's what's going on. It's not just a neighborhood celebration. Well, those are good fireworks you see in the background. But that's part of the excitement and the growth here in Gretna. We had a chance to talk to the mayor, Mike Evans, during the third quarter. Is limping off the field is DeMarcus Perkins. He's had a big night.
Please direct your attention to the southeast sky for the fireworks
Dallas
show.
Will be packed tomorrow. The weather is great. Might say fall, feels like summer, and Nebraska football isn't playing this weekend. They have a bye. So if you're going to Vallis and you want to go tomorrow, I would leave right now. Perkins is helped off the field, and here is the Gretna defense that has looked a lot at Ty Bufakeo throwing deep. Bufakeo, 12 of 18, 274 yards passing, 3 scores on the pitch to the short side to Naughton, and Naughton picks up a healthy gain of about 8. But there is a flag down, and it will be holding on Bennington. So that will push him back.
The penalty puts the ball at the 44-yard line. First down and 16.
Bufakeo to throw, stops from midfield, throws it down the field, and it is incomplete. Boy, he had Nichols, who has a touchdown reception earlier in the game, momentarily, but the pass is broken up, and it'll be third down. As Nichols had hit him right on the bonnet. Again, Bufakeo threw that ball about 40 yards in the air. Pass into the flat. That's going to be a first down and much more. Into the red zone. Milosic with the catch. Turns it upfield. And Bufakeo is over 300 yards passing. And just a simple out downfield blocking, and the downfield blocking has been good. There, and you picture Nichols with a good block to spring Malasic. And they'll place the ball. They said he stepped out of bounds, so the ball will be at the 20-yard line. Bennington 3-1. Goots. Not much running room along the right side. Maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage. Gibbons and Schlofeld were in on the tackle. We get an opportunity to see Gretna quite a bit, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Schlofeld grow. Only a sophomore. He's a fantastic wrestler as well here at Gretna High. A lot of two-sport athletes. Lakers is a great baseball player along with a talented wide receiver. 2nd down and 10. And the little inside pop pass. Just trying to find some running room. Malasic, but he goes down. Schlofeld in there. Gibbons in there as well on the tackle. Gaethje. It'll be 3rd down and 10. 27-0 in favor of Bennington. It was 14-0 at halftime. See Schlofeld from his linebacker spot. Bufakeo steps up and he's got room to run. He makes a move, eludes a defender, and he's down at the 1-yard line. They'll officially mark him at the 2. And count me more than impressed by this junior quarterback. Oh, boy. Schlofeld got just a piece of Bufakeo, or he would have been in the end zone once again. Waiting for the play from the sidelines. People were wondering, is this the year that Bennington takes a step back? Only 4 returning starters. Naughton for Knott on this first down carry. Cerny led the charge. Gaethje as well. Now it'll be 2nd down. And as long as Cam Lenhart's the head coach, you don't count out Bennington, but people are wondering what will happen with only 4 returning starters. Well, you open with Waverly in a great game. Waverly is one of the top 3 teams in Class B. It was a 21-19 game. Well, Bennington's rattled off 3 in a row, and this is going to be one of the more impressive Week 5 scores in high school football, and that's a touchdown. Another touchdown, the 4th of the night. In the back of the end zone, placed perfectly. Bufakeo to Douglas, and it's 33-0.
Scoring a touchdown, number 25, Lane Malachik. Pass completion, Bufakeo to Malachik.
And now Bennington will go for 2. They convert, will be a running clock. Boy, what a night for the Badgers offensively. And their junior quarterback, Ty Bufakeo. And before the 2-point try, Bennington will take a timeout. We'll stay right here. Cam Lenhart, now in his 6th year. We talked about the growth of Gretna, and Gretna now with 2 high schools, and both high schools are in the top 6 of Class B. Bennington, in a couple of years, they will have 2 high schools. The middle schools are packed. There has been a need for another high school in Bennington for some time. That area, just like here in Gretna, that area of the Omaha metropolitan community is growing. Lots of new rooftops. And so the current high school, and it is packed with students. So in a couple of years, currently under construction, there will be 2 high schools in Bennington. Cam Lenhart leading Bennington High. If you go to by the water tower in Bennington, the old Badger logo is up there. It's a very prideful athletic program, boys and girls. Bufakeo dives into the end zone on the two-point conversion. Ran over a defender and makes it 35-0. Who would have thunk it? What an impressive night for the Badgers.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
35-0 Bennington rolling tonight against Gretna. Again, this is a score that around the state, people will pause as Bennington has made a statement tonight, offensively, defensively. Ty Bufakeo, 15 of 22, 306 yards passing, 4 touchdown passes. He also has 88 yards rushing. Parker Douglas, who is a junior just like Bufakeo, 5 catches, 162 yards, and 2 scores. Now we'll have a running clock. And the short kickoff, they've done a good job tonight keeping it away from Lakers. And here's Thielen. It's all the way out to the 36-yard line.
Number 25, Nate Thielen, the ball carrier. Making the tackle was number 58. Mason Teal. First down and 10.
So Knutson back on the attack for the Dragons. And he'll throw. Steps up. Pocket collapses. Now he's on the run. And he will step out of bounds for a pickup of 5. Bennington's done a great job against this array of really good wide receivers that Gretna has. They've done a great job in just locking them down. Been a couple of coverage sacks tonight. Pass out of the backfield. First to know, nice catch. Good feed by Knutson. Threaded the needle, and that's a first down. Out to the 49.
First down and 10.
Knutson to throw again under pressure. Been the story of tonight, but this time he's on the run, and he is going to have a first down into Bennington territory at the 40.
Number 5, Michael Knutson, the ball carrier. Driven out of bounds at the 40-yard line. First down and 10.
Again, running clock with the margin 35 points. Knutson play action. Steps up. Now out of the backfield, first to know. Get about 5 yards. Knutson to throw again. Launches it down the field for Bolts to the end zone. Touchdown! 35-yard touchdown pass from Michael Knutson to Drew Bolts, and Gretna is on the board. 5 plays, 64-yard drive, and a pass by Knutson right in to the hands of Bolts, and Gretna is on the board for the first time tonight. And the PAT is up, and it is good off the right foot of sophomore kicker Max Brewer. So Drew Bolts, for the third time this year, with a touchdown reception. Knutson throws his 8th touchdown pass, and the Green Army has a chance to celebrate. Another look here. Knutson had plenty of time in the pocket. You see the arm why Northwest Missouri State is so excited to get him next year and put it right into the end zone. The only person that could catch it was Bolts. Again, stay tuned at the end of our telecast tonight. We still have our player of the game. Really is no surprise tonight. Some final thoughts. Thanks for joining us here on week number 5. Next week, Omaha Central and Omaha Creighton Prep. So now the clock stops as Brewer will kick off. The Dragons are on the board for the first time on the 35-yard touchdown pass from Knutson to Bolts. And before the onside kick attempt, we get a whistle. And they had, I believe they had the ball at the wrong yard line. So we will re-kick. And Gretna is kind of given away what they're going to do. Bennington does have their hands team up, 35-7. Brewer, let's see if he can convert the onside here. He does, gets it to bounce, and it's corralled by Sanger. And Bennington will take over near midfield. 3:33 to go. Ufakeo looks like he's going to come back out. And what a night for him. 15 of 22, 306 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, add 88 rushing yards. You can do the math. For the junior, that is 394 yards of total offense. Goots bounces at the outside and doesn't get much further as he is ridden out of bounds. Nathan Thielen, one of the 2 freshmen on this Joe Dalton roster, with the tackle.
Nathan Thielen, 7 down and 7.
So the clock running, we hit the 3-minute mark. It was 14-0 at halftime. Goots out of the backfield, direct snap to the quarterback, and Ufakeo just moves it forward. Keep the clock running. Now it'll be 3rd down. And Bennington, with the victory here tonight, they are going to improve to 54-3 in their last 57 games. Bennington taking their time. Bufakeo, option runs right. And the pitch to Goots. And he will have a first down. They haven't needed much of Will Goots tonight. Goots coming in and carried the ball 73 times for 378 yards. But they've got a nice combination of Goots and Naughton at running back. So any worries about Bennington finding their stride? It appears in week number 5, now with 4 straight victories to get to 4-1. Yeah, I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. But they have down the road Scott and then number 1 Elkhorn North. And the handoff straight ahead. Gretna will drop to 2-3. And if you look at the 3 losses by the Dragons, and this is kind of week by week in Class B, Gretna now has lost to the number 1 team in B, the number 2 team in B, and now the number 4 team in B. And the last couple of plays on a big night for junior quarterback Ty Bufakea. They'll run it. And Naughton. It's all the way down to the 24-yard line. Another first down. And a big night offensively. Not only 35 points, but Gretna has put up some big crooked numbers running and throwing the football.
Number 21, ball carrier. First down and 10.
So now under a minute to go. And stay tuned. We'll show you more of the night for Ty Bufakeo, who is our roll-off construction player of the game. I know you're not supposed to give it away, but it's obvious tonight. We'll let the play clock run all the way down. And they'll take a knee. Bufakeo drops to a knee, and that seems appropriate. It is a big night for him, an even bigger night for his team. Bennington defeats Gretna by a score of 35-7 to move to 4-1. Gretna drops to 2-3. We're back with thoughts and highlights of Ty Bufakeo. 35-7 Bennington over Gretna.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? We've become the largest injury firm in the world because we've won a lot. Our firm has recovered billions and billions and billions. Over 30% of our new clients are referred by former clients. That says it all. Our results and client satisfaction, that's how we became the largest injury firm in the world. When you call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm, your very own army springs into action immediately to fight to get you the best result as quickly and easily as possible. If you or anyone in your family has been injured in a car accident, call us now, as the time to file a claim may be limited. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Call 800-589-0055. That's 800-589-0055.
Do you have difficulty hearing your TV? Or have trouble hearing conversations? Then you would benefit from Nano hearing aids. Other hearing aids are expensive and cost thousands of dollars. But if you call now, you can get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Don't be fooled by overpriced hearing aids ever again. The Nano CIC rechargeable hearing aid is a true hearing aid, not an amplifier. And they offer superior noise reduction and a tiny in-the-ear design that is nearly invisible. And best of all, they are incredibly affordable. Call now and get 2 Nano CIC rechargeable OTC hearing aids for less than $1 a day. Plus, get a free charging dock and your shipping is always free. But that's not all. Order now and get 1 year of elite protection with loss and theft coverage absolutely free. That's a $79 value, yours free. And all Nano hearing aids come with a 45-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-390-1322. That's 1-800-390-1322.
Attention timeshare owners. This is an urgent consumer alert from the Timeshare Exit Hotline, a national company specializing in helping consumers legally get out of their expensive timeshare contracts. we're offering you a way to legally get rid of your timeshare. So if you're fed up with the maintenance fees that keep on coming and want to learn if you can terminate your timeshare legally and permanently, call today. Call the number on your screen today. It's a free call.
The Badgers look like the Badgers. They win their fourth in a row tonight in impressive fashion over number 6 Gretna, the number 4 Bennington Badgers, 35-7. And a big reason, that guy right there. He is our player of the game, brought to you by Roloff Construction. 100% employee-owned Ty Bufakeo. He did it with his legs, 85 yards rushing on the ground, and with his arm. Hello, 306 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. When Bennington needed a play tonight, they got it. He also hooked up with Parker Douglas, who had 5 catches, 162 yards. That is our player of the game, the junior quarterback for Bennington, Ty Bufakeo. We're back with some final thoughts after this.
Hi, and welcome everyone watching at home. We're here to remind you that we have agents standing by right now to answer your legal questions. So if you've been injured in an accident that was not your fault, call now. Find out if you have a case and how much is potentially worth. I'm Gina Bellich here with spokesman and TV personality Tom Mustin. So Tom, tell everyone watching at home who should call right now.
Well, Gina, first off, thank you for having me here in the studio. Now, as far as who should call in, the answer is anyone who's been injured in an accident that was not your fault should give us a call right now. Agents are standing by to answer any questions you may have and tell you how much your case is potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. So what kind of calls are we seeing today?
Well, Gina, we're getting calls about all types of accidents, but the most common has been car accidents. So if you or someone you know were injured in an accident that was not your fault, take that first step and give us a call. We'll answer your questions and you'll find out if you have a case and how much it's potentially worth.
Thanks, Tom. Call now.
Thinking about retirement? Would you like to have retirement income that you can count on for the rest of your life? How about up to 33% more income? Call this number to get this free book, Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers. This book is filled with valuable information uncovering little-known secrets to help you maximize your income in retirement. And it's free. Retirement income you can count on starts by calling for this free book. As a bonus, we'll also rush this annuity rate report, also absolutely free. Annuity National researched numerous products and summarized the rates and benefits of annuities from foremost insurance companies like Nassau Life and Annuity. Call for both these free books, Annuity National, retirement income you can count on for the rest of your life. Call now.
For your free books, call 800-793-7995. That's 800-793-7995. 800-793-7995.
A big night for Ty Bufakeo and a bigger night for the Bennington Badgers. They win 35-7. Bennington has now won 4 in a row after an opening season loss to number 3 Waverly. The Badgers look like the Badgers. Gretna tonight, they fall to 2-3, and their 3 losses have been to 3 of the top 4 teams in Class B. As Bufakeo, we'll see plenty of him. He is only a junior for the Bennington Badgers. That'll do it tonight from Gretna Stadium. Big thanks to all of you that joined us. And our fantastic crew delivering the sights and the sounds from another Friday night. Now we gear up for a Class A showdown next week. Omaha Central, Omaha Creighton Prep, that's coming your way at 7 o'clock next Friday night right here on Your View. For Brad Pace, John Carter, our statistician, for our entire great crew, I'm Gary Sharp. Again, the final score, 35-7, Bennington over Gretna. From Gretna, good night, everybody.
Nearly 1 in 4 U.S. consumers have been a victim of identity theft, even when they did all the right things to protect their personal information.
I did everything right, but an institution that had my data didn't. And now my identity's been stolen.
Banks, hospitals, employers, and other institutions all have your personal information too. And when they're exposed, careful monitoring of your accounts and credit won't be enough.
$110,000 of my hard-earned money gone.
The stakes are high, and even if you take steps to protect your personal information, you're not the only one who has it. Only LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second, alerting you to the widest volume of threats. And if you become a victim, a dedicated U.S.-based identity restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed. Plus, all LifeLock members are backed by the LifeLock $1 Million Protection Package, including reimbursement for stolen funds. Call now or go online and use promo code 35TV to save 35% off an annual plan for your first year.
Heads up, the IRS is on the move. If you owe the IRS more than $10,000 in back taxes, revenue agents can now come directly to your home to collect. That means bank accounts, assets, and cash are all up for grabs. The time for waiting is over. StopIRSDebt.com can intercept these agents and stop collections fast. With thousands of 5-star reviews, we've helped low and high income taxpayers get protected and slash their tax debt. So if you're under audit, need your returns filed, or have an agent at your door, go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings. Simply answer a few questions and you're done. With 87,000 new IRS agents on the move, don't roll the dice any longer. There are now generous options to resolve your tax debt, but you must act fast. Don't wait until it's too late. Go to StopIRSDebt.com now to check for savings.
Call 855-296-9016. That's 855-296-9016.
Get ready to meet some of the best high school athletes in America. We'll start in South Florida with an elite quarterback prospect, then make our way to South Carolina for a top defensive back. You'll meet a rising volleyball star in Michigan and a two-sport athlete in Ohio. Plus, hear from former SMU running back Craig James in our journey to greatness. That's all coming up next on Sports Stars of Tomorrow. Welcome to Sports Stars of Tomorrow. I'm your host, Charles Davis. More and more often, we're seeing the children of former pro athletes emerge as future stars, but not necessarily in the same sports as their parents. In Florida, the son of an NBA veteran is making his case as the nation's top quarterback. And that's this week's 5-star feature. He's one of the highest-rated quarterback recruits in America. For many years, people knew Dia Bell as Raja Bell's son. The elder Bell, an 11-year NBA veteran, has noticed a change lately, though. More and more fans are calling him Dia Bell's dad.
Yeah, I'm good with it, man. It took me by surprise. It kind of happened overnight. Especially locally, this is where I'm from, but I actually like it, man. I get to sit back, and because it's not my sport, I can just sit up in the stands and watch and be a parent.
I got that a lot when I was younger, but now as I'm starting to get older, starting to get more recognition across the country, it's kind of flipped. He obviously played at the highest level. I haven't got there yet, so hopefully when I get there, I get to take over that entire narrative.
Given that Dia's dad played in the NBA and his mom was an All-American soccer player, it makes sense that he loves sports himself. He was actually born a few hours before his father played in a playoff game with the Phoenix Suns in 2007. Dia grew up playing multiple sports, and he showed a lot of promise on the basketball court like his dad. But in the summer of 2020, he found himself drawn to the football field just a little bit more.
I remember it vividly. It was COVID, and we were out back working like we always did on basketball. And Dia just kind of told me that his passion and his love was football, and that's what he wanted to really pour into and try to focus on. And stung a little bit. Like, we had put a lot of time into the basketball court, and he was pretty good. But you gotta let him follow his passion.
And I always kind of gravitated towards like leading a team, and I like throwing the ball. So like quarterback was always something for me that I was kind of gravitated towards. And ever since then, it's just I've fallen in love with it even more.
Dia attends American Heritage High School in Plantation, Florida. It's a K-12 school, and he's been here since the 6th grade. Even back then, his coach saw hints that Dia could become an elite athlete.
I actually started training him in the 7th grade. I was the strength coach and the running back coach at the time, but I told Coach Pat Sertan, our former head coach, I said, man, he's gonna be special. When you're the son of a former professional athlete, you got a lot of stuff available to you, and he's worked, man. He's got a tremendous work ethic. He's got a tremendous focus. He knows where he's going. I think he's only the 2nd sophomore ever to start at quarterback here. He was just figuring that out that first year. The biggest jump that I saw him make is that he had more command of the offense as a whole, but I just saw maturity of him as a leader.
Dia really blossomed as a passer in his junior season. He threw for 2,600 yards.